Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is lecture number 21st. The name of the paper is Criticism 1. The book is Aristotle's Poetics, and in the Poetics, the topic is the development of drama in Greece. This lecture is specifically for the students of BS English 5th semester GDC PUBB, and it is also for those students whose colleges are affiliated with Abdul Wali Khan University. Though the topic is the development of drama in Greece, I'd like to have a few words about the growth and development of poetry, according to Aristotle. Aristotle believed that a poem or poetry, it is born just like a human being or like an animal. So poetry is given birth to the poet, uh, gives birth to something, and that is poetry, and it is like a living organism. Just like a living organism who has to pass through infancy, and from infancy to youth, and from youth to maturity, and then a decline comes, and after the decline, there is death. This is what he also thinks about the growth and development of poetry. That poetry in the beginning uh, is born, and when it is born, it is the infancy of poetry. So in Greece, when poetry was born, that was the beginning of poetry. And in the beginning, uh, panegyrics were written. They were just like Arham and Nath. And this was considered to be something serious, of course, it is serious. And poetry, as we have already discussed, was divided into two classes: those who imitated better than average, and those who imitated lower than average. So those who imitated better than average were serious people and serious writers. And in the beginning, when poetry was born, when poetry was in its infancy, they wrote panegyrics and they wrote hymns to God. So this type of poetry was a serious business, but this was the infancy of poetry. At this stage, the non-serious poets, they wrote invectives and lampoons, which are different types of satire, comedies. So they wrote comedies, we can say. And though there was serious poetry and non-serious poetry, but it was the infancy, and in infancy they wrote panegyrics and hymns to God, just like Arhamda and Nath. Now, these are, again, I'm saying this, these are the ideas of Aristotle, not mine, because for us, Hamd and Nath are everything. We don't consider it the infancy of poetry. Aristotle considered so. After the infancy came the young age of poetry, and that was the age in which epics appeared. Epics were about the great heroes who took part in wars, and this was a serious business. Those who were non-serious, they wrote comic epics also. Uh, there was one poet only, Homer, who wrote serious epics like Odyssey, uh, and he also wrote comic epics like Margites. And both of these were often not written by one poet, and there weren't other poets who wrote both the comic and the serious. They were separate. The tragedians were separate from the comedians. So this was the youth of poetry when epic was written. So epic is the youth of poetry. The maturity of poetry came with drama. So that drama is the maturity of poetry. The serious poets wrote the tragedies and the non-serious comedies, as we have already discussed. And Drama is the perfect form of poetry. This is what Browning also says in his poems. You will study him in later semesters. He thinks that old age is the perfection of the youth. It is the best period, and maturity of the drama was the best period of poetry. It became mature, but after the maturity comes decline, and after the maturity of the drama, the decline started. After Euripides, after Aeschylus, there was a decline, and slowly and gradually the death of poetry. So, after having discussed this, we now come to our actual topic, which at the beginning of this lecture, said would be the development of drama. So, we are now talking about the development of drama. The development of drama started with the celebration of Dionysus. Dionysus is a Greek god for celebrations, for dance, for ecstasy, for wine, for prophecy, for um, and all these things. So you can see that this is the god of wine, this is the god of alagula, this is the god of parties, and all that. And they celebrated the death and also the resurrection of Dionysus. And these celebrations were in the form of dances and choral songs. A lot of people would come together and they would sing together. This was called a choral song, and they would start dancing and they would celebrate. These songs were about Dionysus, the god of wine, the god of inspiration, the god of prophecy, the god of fertility, and all that. So that was the beginning of the drama, the songs and the dance. After this, the chorus, the group of singers who would have a leader, that leader was separated from the chorus. So, as a result, we had two parties now. The chorus itself would become one party, and the leader another party, and a dialogue developed. The leader would say something, and the chorus would answer to something which the leader had said, and it was a kind of dialogue. It was developed. This was a sort of drama. You can see that in drama, we find dialogues. The dialogue is there. We find actors. One actor at least is introduced. The other actor is the whole of chorus. Um, but it was the second stage. In the third stage, there was a writer, Thespis, a dramatist, a playwright. He introduced a new actor. So you can see now the number of actors is slowly and gradually increasing. This new actor was not the part of chorus, and he acted with the leader of the chorus. Now you can see that there is the leader, there is this actor which is introduced, and there is the chorus. So this was the third step. In the next step, Aeschylus came, a playwright, a tragedian, and he introduced a next actor or the second actor, and the magnitude of the play was developed, it was increased, and then he introduced masks, different dresses, different types of big boots uh, that the actors wore. And with the introduction of these items, spectacles was created, spectacle which is one of the important element of drama. And when this was introduced, the development of drama was in progress, because if you look at these steps, every step is in the direction of the drama, making it more dramatic each time a new step is taken. So you can see that uh, these things were introduced, and along with this, New stories were also introduced about the heroes, not only about Dionysus this time, but about the other heroes too. And you can see that development, a great development took place. Then came Sophocles, another tragedian and a wonderful writer, and he introduced the third actor. Now you can see the number of actors kept on increasing, and the chorus was slowly and gradually going to background. That is, the significance of chorus slowly and gradually decreased. The importance of actors gradually increased, and the number of actors also increased. Sophocles made wonderful dramas, and these dramas had a proper beginning, middle, and end. The middle was transitional because after the transition of beginning, middle comes, and the end was convincing. And he made wonderful plots. He wrote wonderful plots about his tragedies. So you can see the development now. Uh, the rest of the book is about the rest of the book. I mean, the poetics is about tragedy, and we have already done that part. Um, the Aristotelian concept of tragedy, concept of imitation, all this we have already done. So this was not very important, but for the sake of information, this topic is important so that you come to know how the drama developed in Greece. ये उर्दू में थोड़ा सा सुन लें, ज़्यादा मैं नहीं बताऊंगा, इतना इम्पॉर्टेंट नहीं है ये, जनरल नॉलेज के लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट है। ड्रामे की डेवलपमेंट डायनासियस की, जो कि गॉड है फर्टिलिटी का, वाइन का, पार्टी का, लागोला का, इंस्पिरेशन का, वगैरह का, और इसकी डेथ और दोबारा जिंदा होने पर, रिजरेक्शन पर, कि ये बर्थडे बनाते थे, सेलिब्रेशन करते थे, डांस करते थे, कोरल सॉन्ग्स का ये बिगिनिंग था, डांस और सॉन्ग ग्रीस ड्रामा का। सेकंड स्टेज में जो कोरस का लीडर होता था, कोरस का मतलब है बहुत सारे गाने वाले और नाचने वाले, इनका एक लीडर होता था। तो ये लीडर और ये कोरस ये अलग अलग उसने कर दिए, अलग अलग कर दिए गए, और यूं कोरस और लीडर के दरमियान डायलॉग शुरू हुआ। तो ये एक डेवलपमेंट हुआ, ये किस्म का ड्रामा डेवलप हुआ। फिर इसके बाद थिस्पस आया और इसने नए एक्टर को इंट्रोड्यूस किया। तो आप देखिए ये एक्टर जो है ये कोरस के लीडर के साथ डायलॉग कर सकता है। एस्केलस ने सेकंड एक्टर इंट्रोड्यूस किया, मास्क, ड्रेस और शूज इंट्रोड्यूस किए और स्टोरीज भी इंट्रोड्यूस की। और नेक्स्ट स्टेप था सोफोक्लिस का, जिसने थर्ड एक्टर भी इंट्रोड्यूस किया और कोरस बैकग्राउंड में चला गया। प्लॉट कंस्ट्रक्शन इसने ज़बरदस्त इंट्रोड्यूस की। तो यूं ड्रामे ने डेवलप किया। इसके बाद जो बुक है पोएटिक्स, वो सारा फिर ट्रेजेडी के बारे में है। तो ये टॉपिक हुआ। थैंक यू एंड गुड लक।